to
Okay.
find these records. So we will. Who was the Voyager school back in the day?
A lot of folks. Seattle was, Edmonds, anybody who was an Orca library was Voyager.
I don't remember who brought up.
It was,
It wasn't Victoria. Was it maybe Skagit?
maybe, yeah.
Yes, that sounds
Highline might have some left over. I don't know.
okay. Well,
But I think I'm, I want to check something in the like catalog in the mark documentation.
okay. So if we were going to try and find these, we
So the
might.
first thing to do is to look for, I think it's an 856 in the holdings record that does not have subfield I.
So
No, 852.
okay. So all titles and we can't. Okay. So we can't search it. So it does have to be an indication rule. And we're looking for indication. And the field is the
2.
852. And it might have something about I. So would we want ones that do have this field or do not have this?
We want records that do not have that field.
Okay. So rule actions duplicate. And then we're going to do that without and shared save. All right, and now that's ours. And we're going to do this one as false and save. And now we'll want to run this on a set of titles. And I'm thinking if we do titles, we could do it from an analytics report and we could do titles that were added to the library before Alma was implemented.
Yeah, which would have been like 2016, 2017, depending on
So
the institution.
gonna,
Another thing to look that might be a clue. So back before OCLC bought WLN in 2000,
mm-hmm.
everyone was using WLN records, and I don't know how many folks upgraded or overlaid their WLN records or not. So one way to identify some of the older records would be to do a search for other system number contains WAOLN. Like, and you could do that. You don't have to have all the analytics for that.
That one. Okay. Let's
Um,
see if this pulls anything, and it would be in, would it be titles or items? Because we're looking at date added to the
It might have to be
item.
titles.
It won't be very clean, but okay. Receiving date?
No, because if
That would be acquisitions, right?
yeah, yeah.
Well, we want this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, item creation date. Maybe
Sure.
just do year.
Before 2016.
Yeah, and then we probably need to throw some kind of title here to get the set. And we don't actually need the filter it as less than. I should have saved the creation date so that I'd know that less than is before.
Yes.
Yeah, look, I was like,
It's been a long week.
yeah, okay. So we've got these, and I'm not seeing eyes.
Can you enlarge a little bit?
Um, that's the
Yeah.
852.
Yeah. So, for example, the way it's supposed to work, do you see all these? We've got a bunch of Dewey numbers, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
The a particular friend Penn's Cove. So that first one, theoretically, Cook should be in a subfield I because the Cook part of the call number relates
Should
to
be a
that
second.
specific book and not the subject as a whole, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yes. So like all of these Grafton, we do have an eye down here,
Mhm.
but then there's no eye here.
Right.
So this seems like a good set
Yeah.
to
And
run
especially
the
because,
indication rule on.
yes, I think so.
Okay, so we're going to save analysis, and we're going to save this in. Ooh, and we are looking at physical items pre 2017, and it's title. And it's a set for. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. My headphone did a beep noise, and I was like, did you just? Okay, so it's a set for finding missing eye subfield. Okay, so that is saved. So now we can get out of here, and now we've saved this guy. So now we need to go in, create a set, which should be a
Logical set?
full set, and it
Probably just all holdings is the easiest thing.
yeah, well, it's um and wait,
Oh, do the advanced repository search first and then save the results to a set.
right, but um how do we get this? Because I made the I think I if I do a I think I'm if I'm doing it from analytics, I have to create an itemized set.
Oh, you're pulling things in from analytics. Okay, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an itemized set.
Okay, I'm gonna delete that. Yes, itemized set. 320. Private. And it's from analytics. And do I need to save it in a Skagit Valley one?
Yeah.
No. Okay. As in
I, I think there might be a better way to do this, but if you just want the experience of importing from analytics, that's
well,
great.
we've done that before. What's the other
Okay.
way to do it? I'm so much
Um,
more comfortable with analytics.
yeah. So what I would do is go back into Alma itself, where it says order lines, change that to physical holdings
Okay.
and click on the advanced search icon. So we want holdings. Let's see if there's a creation date on the holdings.
Mm. There's physical item and creation date.
Let's do the holdings creation date. for January 1st, 2017.
No records.
Oh, okay. Yes, because, sorry, my mistake. They would have been created.
Okay,
They would all have creation dates of the date that,
whenever they were imported.
right.
So we're creating a logical
just
set.
just do a physical holdings keyword question mark and save that.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Because at this point, we don't care that they were before 2017. We just want a set of all the holdings that we're going to run this indication rule against.
Okay. We're doing it from a search. We're doing it from all physical things. And
add all.
okay. Job submitted. Done. Okay. Now we want to, well, it's not going to let us. So it's not ready yet. When it is, it's filter set.
Ah.
So give it. I'm wondering how many titles were in the set that I created from the analytics report. Oh, and Elena's here. We are investigating the missing subfield 852I.
Okay, cool. And that's I'm noticing our instances there. Yay.
Yeah. But we're doing like an all holdings list, and I think it's going to take forever. I'm going to see if I can do one based on
Yeah,
that
actually,
analytics.
the faster way to do it is do the repository search first, and that gives you all the results. And then you click the button to save the results to a list.
Okay.
And I think that goes a lot faster.
We did.
And actually,
we did all, like,
no,
how
just
did
do
we?
physical holdings keywords question mark.
Okay.
And then create a logical set.
Okay. Right. Okay, and now filter set.
And this is the part where I always get lost about, we have this set, now how do we run we spent all of this time doing all of these meetings and I still don't remember how to then take the set and run an indication rule against it.
Yeah, so you do filter set, and Uh, oop. And when the sets are actually when it's ready. It will. So Elena, we already found an indication rule. We were able
Oh,
to
good.
do a search in the community for 852I, and
Oh,
it was
awesome.
for
Okay.
holding with. And so
Now
then
that's
I just
do the
duplicated
opposite.
and
Yeah,
set it as false.
as false. Yep. And then
Uh,
do we have to do a normalization rule to add it?
yeah, so how we do that is going to be a fun exploration. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm hoping we can at least get our set of titles without an I, because we'll want something to test a normal on a portion, one title.
Okay.
So
And I have to admit this, I have the vaguest recollection. This might have been something that was a holdover from before I went on sabbatical, which means my brain has probably completely freaking wiped it.
Oh,
well, and it could be an issue at many institutions because it's an old cataloging Voyager thing.
Oh, okay.
yeah. It doesn't have a huge effect other than it call numbers will sort differently depending on whether there's a subfield I or not. So
Oh,
if you have some kind of call number browse, or you're doing an inventory, or
mhm.
you need to do a call number sort in analytics, it will cause things to not sort the way that you expect them to.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean, honestly,
Because it's
one
just,
way to deal with it would just be to say, if it's so old that it doesn't have a subfield I in the holdings call number, then it's probably old enough that we should weed it. But
well, and
it's
trust
an
me, we're
interesting.
going through a massive weeding right now. We got a lot of things that fall in that. My predecessor changed the cutter numbers from the old traditional cutters to just like authors, like the first 10 characters of like the author's last name or something. And we know that if we find things that are so old, they still have the old cutter, that they might be candidates. And we have some things because we're from 1926. We literally have things in our collection that probably would be classified primary sources at this point.
Wow. I, yeah, we had something similar going on at South Seattle. One of the librarians who retired like right before the pandemic,
Mhm.
um, his very first job out of grad school was at the Swedish National Library.
Oh, that's Randy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love him. Yep, that's great.
Yeah. But yeah, so Randy's first library job was at an institution that was the institution of record, and every single library in the country, if they had the last copy, they weren't allowed to get rid of it. They had to send it to Randy's library
Oh, geez.
for basically for archival storage.
Wow.
So Randy never got rid of anything.
Because that was not his training. That's
No.
so funny. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm sorry. So now, okay, I need to focus, pay attention.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for the set to be completed.
Uh, I'm
I'm
sorry. I made you do that thing and it's taking longer.
I don't. Who knows which one? We also, though, Elena, we did an analytics report
Mhm.
where we did item creation date pre 2017
Oh, okay.
and put the 852 in. Okay, why not? Let's.
If we do want to use that analytics report, we need to add the holdings ID to the report, and we need to have the content type set for physical holdings, I think.
Because I was gonna say, isn't the 852, isn't that in the holdings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and we just so
And
for
well, and a lot of our things are not gonna have, like, if it's a reserve item, like for example, 100 laptops or whatever that we check
Right.
out, that's not gonna have. There's gonna be a lot of things that are physical holdings that do not have 582s.
Yeah.
yeah, so we did creation year previous to 2017 and then a title and an 852. If there's so we're thinking
Can you do like a material type
material
also,
type,
maybe?
yeah.
Or maybe start with things in just one location.
Oh, let's do it in the location. Yeah, like maybe let's do it like in the stacks or like the things in reference or something. So it's a smaller subset, so it won't take as long.
There we go.
That's a good idea. So like let's filter it to things that are maybe in the let's just do reference.
And
Okay,
and
there we go. What
add
else do we need?
the holdings ID and I think the MMS ID just to be on the safe side while we're adding stuff.
Oh, to pull over. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is physical. This is an item, not a title analytics, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want the barcode in there too?
No, because we're using this to create a set in Alma.
Okay. Uh-huh.
See, and I put titles in first and we're not using it, so it's just gonna look messy, but I'm only using the physical item stuff.
Okay.
Oh, and we
okay.
should also filter for life cycle, holdings life cycle equals in repository.
Active. Yeah.
Okay.
In repository.
So not the item life cycle, but the holdings life cycle. Yeah, so in the holdings detail,
we want holding ID.
Yeah, we want holding ID and we want holding life cycle.
Which is right under
Which
ID.
is right under it.
Oh. Okay, and we're just limiting life cycle
to in repository or active.
Active, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh, it needed, yeah, you need to click that arrow. It's kind of annoying. Active, yeah. Yep.
And then,
maybe add the MMS ID just to be on the safe side.
Where's that?
Bibliographic
Item.
details.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, let's see what. Okay. Oh, this. Who's it? I'm saving these in the Wade folder.
Okay.
Okay. Good. See if this.
Okay. So we create an itemized set from analytics. And not credit.
Think and set the content type to, I think, physical holdings.
Okay. And
You might have to do that before you select the analysis, because the content type of the set determines what gets used as the match point, I think.
well, that's interesting. One of them worked.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see which one worked. All right, why? Well, we can put it this way this time, right? So physical holdings
Mm-hmm.
and location. And
But we can't use the holdings creation date of before 2017 because the holdings were created. They all have the creation date of the migration.
so do we just do a set of everything in reference because it's still
Yeah, let's do that.
we will get a set. Okay, at all. 358. Great. I called it pre, but I don't think it's anything. Why is filter set not coming up? Does it have to be a logical set, not an itemized set?
No, because the set number 2 is a logical set and it doesn't have the filter option.
Hmm.
Right. So here's logical, there's filter. Here's itemized, here's filter. Why are none of
Man.
these letting
Are
us?
are you not able to filter if it's created from analytics? That doesn't make sense.
We have tried from analytics, we've tried from a search.
Yeah.
Like, can you not filter holdings? Like, what does an indication rule have to work on?
I'm
Hmm.
looking at the Alma online help to see if I can find anything.
Okay, we're gonna say
Users can filter all sets, my sets, public sets. Presents the option to filter the sets by whether the sets are active, inactive, or all.
that's not it. Hmm.
Oh, filtering sets is possible only for sets derived by title searches. All titles, physical titles, electronic titles, digital titles.
Okay, so if we do a logic, nope, an itemized set on titles from analytics, and we'll call this one reference titles. And that one is filtered to reference. Oh, I made it private. Well, I'll fix that. And we're gonna, I would like to make it not private. I'm gonna make it not private. Also, what I'm going to do, delete. It's none
So
of,
if this isn't very important, maybe we just don't worry about it. I mean, because this is honestly not anything I would ever do. Like on my, I'm like,
we
yeah,
got
so
it.
they don't file exactly. It's not gonna kill me.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
was
that
trying to-
precise of a cataloger, Kirsty.
Right, yeah. Like, well, and I think when George and I were talking about it, it was part of my thinking was, well, it's a good test case for learning how to use indication rules because it's pretty straightforward, I thought.
But I've done it. So we,
Oh, uncheck the box for private.
I unchecked it on the,
Oh, good.
so, all right, we have reference titles that have been filtered based on the indication rule of does not have, cool. So that didn't work.
What about the stacks location?
Well, but when I did it, yeah, were there, okay, so there's titles in here. Okay. All right, let's all titles. Okay, we're gonna do
I have to duck out and go help out at reference, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave the meeting, but hopefully it's recording so I can see it later. Thanks, you
it
guys.
is. Yeah, thanks, Elena.
Hi, Elena.
Okay, I'll unclick this. Okay, so if we go into analytics and we change the filter from but here's the thing, like it didn't work because these
Right.
are titles without an 852I.
Right.
So something about the indication rule I'm going to create a new one based on title instead of, since titles is the only way we can do the indication rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This time we're going to do bibliographic details and we're going to do active life cycle. We could do material type. Let's do MMSID. And if I've got MMSID, we don't need something else. And then let's see where location.
Oh yeah, that only shows up in the physical items subject areas
So
because the location is associated with
but we can
an
flip
object, not the
call
title.
number to contain and ref. Website is active.
Do their reference call numbers actually contain reference? Because like we put ref on our tags, but we don't actually put
Them
data
in the call number.
abbreviation in the call number field.
Okay, so that's not gonna work.
I have an idea.
Okay,
Let's go back to that previous set you had and pick one record that we see that doesn't have the subfield I and copy the MMS ID and make a set of just that one thing.
okay. Itemize.
Because if we
name test
Yeah.
one ref.
because if we've got just one record identified, we can try
to run the indication rule on that.
either on the set or we can also open up the bib record in the metadata editor and run the indication rule and see if anything happens.
Okay. Here we have it. It is at reference. And we are going to add selected. Done. Okay, and now we're gonna filter this. And we're gonna filter it based on this. So it should still be in the set. Okay, and the content, still one type, nothing. Okay, so then that tells me the indication rule is wrong.
Right. So what happens if we open up that one record in the metadata editor and try to run the indication rule from inside the metadata editor?
Can you search a record based on the MMS ID?
Oh, not inside the metadata editor. I don't think. Maybe I don't use the metadata editor a whole lot, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, there's no
Oh, there's no holdings, so we can't.
that. Okay. So we have to pick a different.
Oh, and maybe that's why we can't filter, because the indication rule is looking for an 852 in the bib record, and an 852
There is no
doesn't exist in the
852.
bib record. Right. So the question is,
Pick a different one.
how, or no, the question is, how do we
But it says it
how do
has
we
an
use indication
852.
rules with holdings records?
Look.
It's coming in from,
Somewhere else.
yeah, it's coming in from a different table in the database.
No 852.
Right. Holdings records can be created, edited using the metadata. Creating holdings record. I'm looking at the Alma Online help.
No 852. This is very odd, and I don't know enough about cataloging to properly understand the issue.
Yeah. Hmm. Indication rules are used to filter sets.
Hmm.
I mean, I think you can open a holdings record in the metadata editor. Hide the metadata editor and let's search for that bib record again. Okay, so click on holdings underneath the whole, at the very bottom of the whole record, and pick one of those holdings records and push to MDE. Okay, and there's, so under the records tab, there's Mark 21 bib, and then there's holdings to the right of Mark 21 bib.
Ah, okay.
And
So
if you go over to the view related data, the 852 field is there. View related data, and then and then view inventory. The 852 is
Okay.
So
so if we
If we open the holdings record in the metadata editor, we should be able to run the indication rule on the holdings record. But the question is, how do we create a set of holdings records and run the indication rule against the whole set?
mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's 1:55. So let's write down the problem so we can tackle this. Okay, so we are trying to create a set of holdings records without 852I. But we can't.
Well,
We've
the big issue
tried.
is how do we create a set of holdings records? We don't care what's in them, but just
Yeah.
set of holdings records that we can run indication rules against.
And we tried
The use
analytics.
case is we're trying to find holdings records that have an 852 without a subfield I.
We
But
tried
that's kind of just like we're using that in it as an
search.
example for the larger question of how do we get holdings records and run indication rules on them.
And we're able to see 852 in individual holding record in MDE. Can't run an indication rule. Because in here, I should be able to do record actions. And I'm not seeing. How do I push this to the Mark 1?
You mean to the bibliographic?
Yeah, like how do I push this back to bib?
I don't think you can from here. I think if you hide the metadata editor and go back from this page.
We go edit record.
Yeah. Then you have the bib record in one tab and you have the holdings record in another tab.
And if we do this, of course, I can't now remember how to run the indication rule.
Open up that holdings record again. Click on the rules tab. No, yeah.
Okay.
If you right click on the rule while the holdings record is being displayed, will that do anything?
Oh, let's see. Okay. So we do that. Holdings is displayed. We go to rules. We go to indication.
Now, if you right click.
Edit, duplicate, contribute.
No, okay. Damn it, how do we run the rule?
Yeah, how do we run it in MDE? I can't remember. Okay, well, here's our notes. In individual, I can't rule against it. Okay. That's the gist of it. And I'm just gonna say exercise in like sets from non-title searches.
Maybe make a note that what was it? So you can only filter sets that are title sets from the manage sets page.
Right.
That was an important thing that we found out.
Only Creating title sets from searches from holdings.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's got to be more information on this because someone wrote that indication rule. Like, the indication rule is in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Find record. Well, that's, yeah. Okay, well, it's now 2:01 and very fascinating exercise. A little frustrating for a Thursday afternoon, but no more frustrating than getting 2 pieces of computer equipment mailed to you only to have the college say that you can't log into them from off campus. So that's great.
4-letter words. 4-letter words, man.
Yeah, it's fine. Guess I'm driving 96 miles one way. So, okay.
Can you charge the IT department for your mileage on that?
Mileage, right? Like, come on, guys. You know I work remote, and Tim asked you repeatedly, like, remind us we're not the IT people.